everybody, I am Dan Cavallari from The Practical Still, here with my partner in crime, Mark Still. Mark, how's it going?
It's going well, Dan. How are you?
We're in the world headquarters.
I don't get to sit in your set very often.
Yeah, I know. This is new. You know, I've had two very good bottles on the shelf for a while now. This George T Stagg, which is this year, or this past year, I guess.
2020.
The 2020, and it's 130.4 proof. And over here, I've got the Stagg Jr., which is 131.1 proof. And, you know, it got me to thinking. I was fortunate enough to get my hands on these two very unique bottles. What's the difference? You know, is there a difference? You know,
they start life the same way.
Exactly. And so we've talked a lot about in recent years the difference between Stagg Jr. and Stagg, and Stagg Jr. being sort of the poor man's Stagg, but it's not really that anymore because it's not cheap.
No poor people are drinking Stagg Jr. these days.
So we're going to put it to the test. We're gonna taste both and see what the differences are. Is it worth trying to get your hands on the unicorn bottle or the slightly junior unicorn bottle?
The slightly less unicorn bottle that comes out once more a year than the unicorn bottle.
Exactly. So should we start lower proof, you think? So, I mean, they're
pretty close.
Yeah, so,
they're pretty close.
All right, so
and primarily the difference, I believe, is age. I mean, the Stagg is 17 years. The Stagg Jr. is not age stated. I think those. Do you know? I think it's 9 to 10.
I don't know. Actually, that's a good question.
I believe that's 9 to 10 years generally. Those.
So really the same recipe, the same everything, just age.
Yeah.
How about we do this? Since this is slightly lower proof, the Stagg, we should start lower proof, I would think. While I'm pouring this, why don't you open this?
I get the honors.
Yeah, and we'll see how this goes. And
do you know? Because the Stagg Jr. people are geeky about batches, and they don't actually batch these. You have to do it by the proof. Do you know which one this is?
So I think it's like. So I had a batch 13. So I think this might be 15. I want to say because there was one in between what I had and what this is.
We'll look that up and put a little note. Like, as you're watching this, it will show up right there.
My guess is probably wrong. So, but we'll pour it in. And Mark and I have sipped off this bottle already, the Stagg.
Did you know this was impossible to get to that little tab?
I set it up that way just so the video goes on longer and longer. But we have sipped off this George T Stagg, and Mark, you had the 2019 version.
Fuck, 2 ounces of whiskey to drink. Did you forget about this one?
Shoot, that's still here. We have sipped off this bottle. I know, I'm so bad about that. We're just going to have to edit some things out, I guess.
We'll take some time. But I do think that you are correct if you're now going, he's complaining about too much whiskey in his glass.
Yeah.
It does seem stupid.
Send emails to him, yelling at him about this. We've sipped off this Stagg bottle before, clearly. And it's phenomenal. And you had the 2019 version, which we both chose this one as the better bottle.
Oh, God, that's good.
That's the reaction we always get from Mark.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yes, the 2019 was not a bad bottle. It had its moments. Consistently, it just wasn't. I bought it. It was my only chance to buy one. I'm glad I did. Yeah. It's just nowhere near as good as this one.
Well, what you had said was that, you know, the first third was really phenomenal. The middle third was kind of and then the last was really good.
It was so sad to pour that last little bit.
This has been phenomenal start to finish. I feel
that is so good.
Incredibly fortunate to have gotten this one. And the way I got it, by the way, was that I bought a lot of whiskey from one place. Spirits, Wine, Provisions here in Arvada. Entered into a raffle because of all the money I'd spent there, and I happened to pull a really good number. And got this bottle. So quite good. And we're just going to have to sit here. We're going to have to fast forward this part where we're just pontificating about how good this bottle is.
Yeah. I'd tell you all about what's in there, but I'm not sure I'm qualified to tease out everything in that. It is so delicious.
This is, I mean, we talk a lot about practical bottles. Clearly not a practical bottle.
Well,
unless you get it at retail.
At retail in today's world, it's a lot of money for a bottle of whiskey, but it's more practical in my mind than paying $100 or $75 for a sourced whiskey from a brand new distillery.
I did pay 110 for this, or 105 plus tax. But
I'll tell you what, that does not drink 130 proof.
No, and it's smooth. It's 17 years.
You know, you should put this in the blind shelfie throwdown for me.
Oh, is that what I should do?
Because I missed the proof. I missed the proof by 15 or 20 proof points.
This guy trying to con his way into a sample here. But no, just this does everything right, and I think this was a winning bottle. Not every bottle of George T Stagg has been this good. They're all really good, but this is exceptional. So now we want to talk about the George T Stagg, or sorry, the Stagg Jr.
I can't smell anything out of the bottle anymore.
I'm sorry, I still got a damn pour to finish.
I know. I need another glass or something to save this.
Well, here, right here.
Give this a minute.
Yeah, handy dandy.
Yeah.
Oh, it even made a nice noise. There's that for you. And dare I do a rocks glass? I guess.
No.
All right, we'll have to go inside to get another one. Then.
Go get one. We'll
Right.
wait. We'll wait. You'll wait?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll wait.
You guys going anywhere? All right.
So good.
All right. Okay.
All right. Fresh glasses.
Because I did a damn pour, we got it.
We're gonna set these aside for a moment. It'll be good to go back to them when
Yeah.
we get done with this.
Yeah.
All right, so Stagg Jr. This is 131.1, so ever so slightly higher proof.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in charge of the pouring.
That's wise.
I want to go on the record before we do this. I have said on the record, if you think Stagg Jr. is every bit as good as Stagg, you just aren't drinking whiskey correctly, because Stagg's always better than Stagg Jr. But I've never done this.
So you're on the record. The nose smells almost identical.
I disagree. This is far more ethanol on the nose and less flavor and more tingly nose hair burn.
I mean, I would say there's a little more ethanol, but I think the noses are so similar. I mean, it's alarmingly similar. There's maybe a little more alcohol in the Stagg Jr. It's definitely hotter.
It takes a minute, though. It's like you go, that's not hot at all.
Yeah, it's definitely hotter, but not by a ton. I mean, it's. Oh man, these are so similar.
I don't think so.
Ooh, the finish on this is different.
I've always gotten lots of cherries, like dark cherries on the back end of the Stagg Jr.
Wow, there's so many similarities. I mean, you could definitely tell they're related. You know, like if you were blind tasting this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the nose is so similar.
Okay, they're sitting. I'm coming to your way of thinking.
There's definitely, yeah, I mean, you're right. There's more of the alcohol on the Stagg, but not by a ton. The finish on the Stagg is way better.
I think it's good. They're definitely family resemblance.
This is like Lamborghini or Ferrari.
Yeah, it drinks hotter than the 17-year-old Stagg, but not markedly hotter.
Yeah.
The flavors are similar, but there's a level of mouthfeel and complexity and richness in the George T that is just not in the Stagg Jr.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Now, in the normal world, this is a $55 or $60 bottle. Mm-hmm. You buy this all day long at that price.
No doubt.
I've recently decided I may let some folks buy some of mine from me because they're spending $250 and more to buy these bottles, and that is ridiculous.
Don't do that.
Well, do it at least one more time.
Yeah. after
that,
yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Let me put it this way: if you don't have any Stagg Jr. and your choice is not to have Stagg Jr. or to pay $200+ for it, do not pay $200+ for that whiskey. It is not worth it. There are other whiskeys you can buy that will make you just as happy.
Yeah.
That aren't $200+.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I didn't pay near that. I'm happy with this bottle. Don't get me wrong, but I paid $65 maybe, which I think is completely.
$53 is the most I've ever paid for Stagg Jr.
Well, yeah, but
and I got one left.
Listen to him. He's been doing this forever.
But that's not that old a bottle. I think that's the batch 13. That was only a year and a half or two ago.
I did. I bought the batch 12 for $50-something. So, but I do think
it's delicious.
In terms of flavors, delicious. The two are very similar. You get the same flavors, but you're right. This has more complexity.
There is a richness. There's a richness to this.
Yeah.
That comes from 17 years of proper aging that you just can't.
Yeah.
You just can't replicate. Now, It's also a risk of over oaking. A lot of 17-year whiskeys are undrinkable. I don't even get an overwhelming sense of oak on the Stagg.
That's not one of the major flavors,
No.
I would say. If the playing field is even, and these are retail bottles,
You buy this one all day long.
you buy that one all day long, but you won't be disappointed with that one,
Well said.
I would say. Things being what they are, if you can get either of them at retail, you buy that.
You buy them all day long, yeah.
But I would say, they're not the same whiskey. They're not the same quality, but they've got a lot of things in common. They're the same family.
I guess I'll give you this. If you weren't doing this, if you weren't drinking these side by side, it would be easy to think, gosh, that's awfully close. That Stagg Jr. is awfully close.
Yes. You would not be disappointed.
No, but when you put them side by side, the richness of this is just, it stands out to me.
What I'm getting is mostly that the Stagg Jr. is hotter and the complexities are a little bit less.
It's a little thinner on the tongue.
Yeah. But otherwise, really fantastic. I think if Stagg Jr. had stayed in that $60 range, that would be a bottle you buy all day long.
Well, and I did. I think you did. We bought them at $50-something. We just kept buying them as they came along.
Yeah.
Sure, I wish I'd have done what I did with McKenna 10 and Eagle Rare and all those other ones and stockpiled them, but I didn't. And if I had, I've never sold a bottle on the secondary. The only people I've sold bottles to is you. I got a bottle.
Continue that practice.
I got a bottle you want. I got one you want. Never sold secondary.
I'm going to be the idiot that pays $250 for the secondary.
I'm pretty sure it's about to change. I think I'm going to let somebody pay me $250 for that because it isn't that.
Disclaimer: you didn't hear anything from us.
Selling whiskey is illegal. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Well, I think this has been a fun experiment.
It has been a fun
Now
experiment.
I have two
I love the experiments where you open nice whiskey and I sit and drink them with you.
This is perfect.
Have you guys ever done that? Have you ever pulled out two like that are?
It's funny. I do that all the time with your bottles.
It's about time. What are the other ones we've done this? We've done this with Distiller's Cut, Beam Distiller's Cut, and Booker's.
We have done it
because those are pretty. Those are the same kind of. There's a proof difference.
We need to do one with Elijah Craig, though. I think that's the next one.
Yeah, we've got the Elijah Craig 18. Yeah. We could do some of that.
Yeah. What would you like us to do? We have a lot of those types of comparisons we could do. Tell us what you're interested in. We'd love to hear it. That was a pretty good way to close that.
It was. Cheers.
Cheers.